Hello, my friends. It is me, Lincoln Michael Cowley. Well, tonight we are going to be reading the story called Watership Down, Fiver's Bad Luck, because it was written by Diane Redmond and it was seen on CITV. Let's get reading! Watership Down, Fiver's Bad Luck, written by Diane Redmond and Red Fox. There's Fiver. It was a fine morning on Watership Down. Hawkbit was chasing Pipkin through the long grass, playing tail tag. "Got you," he called, as he touched Pipkin on the tail. "You're it!" Hazel smiled at the young rabbits. Life was good, especially now Primrose had come to live with them. Look at Hawkbit and Pipkin playing tail tag. Hazel is watching them. But Primrose wasn't happy. She was sitting alone at the edge of the down. Hazel and Fiver hopped up, and after a moment Primrose spoke. "I've been thinking about Redstone," she said. "I want to go home." Hearing her words, Fiver began to tremble. "Redstone Warren is empty and dead. It only lives inside your head." "What's wrong with him?" cried Primrose. "What is he saying?" "It's a vision," said Hazel. "Fiver can see things we can't." Primrose did not believe him. "Redstone's still there," she said. "It has to be." Maybe my vision was wrong," said Fiver. "There's only one way to find out," said Hazel. "We'll go back to Redstone." Primrose is sad. Poor Primrose. "I'll take care of things here," called Bigwig, as Hazel and Primrose hopped off down the slope. Then he settled down in the sunshine and watched the younger rabbits play. Pipkin was chasing Fiver, trying to catch him, but suddenly Fiver stopped dead, making Pipkin crash into him, and both rabbits went flying. Pipkin sat up and rubbed his head, but Fiver stayed on the ground, trembling. "Danger's near! The killer comes back," he said. Bigwig hopped over. "What killer is this, Fiver?" he asked gently. "The weasel we fought in the spring," gasped Fiver. "He's coming!" "Fiver's having a nightmare." "Oh no, Fiver." At once, Bigwig sprang into action. "Come on, everyone," he shouted. "Get your legs into it. We need to lay traps and make the warren safe from attack by sunset." The rabbits set to work. Blackavar and Dandelion filled in all the side entrances. Hawkbit, Blackberry, and Fiver went into the main burrow and started to dig a pit, which would trap the weasel if he came into the warren. Pipkin scampered all over the down, telling the other animals to be on their guard. "Watch out! There's a weasel coming," he called. Wow! The rabbits were doing very well. Hazel and Primrose were stuck on one side of the canal. Hazel didn't think there was a way across, but just then a horse came down the towpath, pulling a barge. "Look," said Primrose, "we could use the barge as a stepping stone to the other side." "I'm not sure," said Hazel, but Primrose had already jumped, so he had to follow. Then they both made a leap for the opposite bank. Hazel landed safely, but Primrose didn't. She fell into the canal just as the lock gate swung open. "Help!" she cried as she splashed in the fast-flowing water. Hazel dived in. He caught hold of Primrose with his teeth and pulled her onto the canal bank where they collapsed in a cold, shivering heap. Primrose fell into the water! Hazel has to rescue Primrose. "I'll come and rescue you," said Hazel to Primrose. Hawkbit climbed out of the pit in the main burrow. "I've dug so much, I can't feel my back legs," he said, flopping on the ground. "I need a rest." Just then, Bigwig came past. "Get up, you layabout!" he roared. "Don't talk like that," said Blackberry. "Hawkbit's been digging hard all day." "Don't argue. I'm in charge," growled Bigwig. "Now get back to work." Hawkbit glared at Fiver. "You and your stupid visions. If you didn't have them, we wouldn't be in this trouble. You bring bad luck to the Warren." Fiver looked scared, and Blackberry was cross. "Don't talk nonsense," she said. Hawkbit dug so much because he needs a rest, and Blackberry is scared. Fiver and Bigwig knew that. Well, let's keep reading. Outside, Pipkin had just got back. "I've warned everyone about the weasel," he told Bigwig, "but the hedgehogs are scared. They want to stay with us." "Well, they're very welcome," said Bigwig. Later, Bigwig noticed that Fiver was missing. He finally found him in a rocky hollow. "What are you doing?" he said. "It's getting dark and the weasel's on its way." "It's my fault he's coming," said Fiver. "Hawkbit said my visions make things happen, and he's right. I can't hurt anyone if I'm out here alone." Bigwig couldn't make Fiver change his mind, so, leaving Kihar to watch over him, he went back to the warren. "Look at these free hedgehogs." Bigwig's telling Fiver that he has loads of visions. "And there's Kihar!" As the moon rose over the canal bank, Hazel shook Primrose awake. "We've got to move on," he said. "The owls are out hunting." Primrose stared at him and smiled softly. "You came into the water after me," she said. "You saved me." Hazel flattened his ears and opened his eyes wide. "I love you," he whispered. "I want us to be together forever." The moon slipped from behind the clouds and touched the trees with a silvery light. "I love you too, Hazel," said Primrose. Hazel loves Primrose. They had a sleep at night. As night fell, the weasel slipped out of the long grass and sniffed the air. "I'm hungry, little long ears," he snarled. "It's time for supper." Then he entered the warren. The weasel was creeping towards the main burrow when suddenly he dropped into the pit. Bigwig and Hawkbit kicked earth on top of him, but the weasel managed to climb out. "This way!" Bigwig shouted to Hawkbit, leading the weasel onto the hedgehogs, who had made themselves into prickly balls. "Ouch!" shrieked the weasel. The rabbits chased the weasel out of the warren and away from the down. "Now get out and stay out!" roared Bigwig. "Ooh! This is it!" cried Primrose when they arrived at Redstone, home. But her voice faded as she looked around. The crumbling burrows were covered with weeds. "Nobody's been here for a very long time," said Hazel. "Fiver's vision was right," said Primrose, starting to cry. Suddenly, an old rabbit with grizzly whiskers appeared. "Captain Broom," said Primrose in astonishment. "Is that you? Where is everyone?" The old rabbit hung his head. There was a terrible sickness. I'm the only one left. Primrose licked the rabbit's ears. Don't be sad, she said. We'll take you to a new home. You'll like it there. Hazel and Primrose saw the new rabbit. It's called Captain Broom. Hello, Captain Broom. When they got back to Watership Down, Hawkbit had just finished filling in the pit. What's been going on? Asked Hazel. Bit of trouble with a weasel, but we sorted him out, said Hawkbit, then added, Fiver's in a state, though, and it's all my fault. You'd better come with me. Hawkbit and Hazel hurried off, leaving Primrose to show Captain Broom around. The old rabbit looked out across the down. Nice spot you've got here, he said happily. I think it will suit me very well. Wow, Blackberry came here to visit Captain Broom. Wow, that was a nice thing to do. We're almost done with our story. Fiver was sitting huddled in the rocky hollow. Hazel put his head in. Hawkbit told me what happened, he said. But he's wrong. Do you remember your vision about Redstone? I saw that you'd find it empty, mumbled Fiver. You were right, said Hazel, but it happened ages ago. So my visions don't make things happen, smiled Fiver. I can return to Watership Down. Then he came out from his hole. Hazel and Hawkbit were happy that they helped Fiver. Mission completed! The end. What a great story! Maybe we should sign off? Oh yes, for me to say, sign up, give a thumbs up, thank you for watching, please subscribe, like, and then peace out, and goodbye!